Welcome to our comprehensive look at the application of exception handling in various domains. In this video, we'll explore how to apply exception handling to different areas of programming to build resilient and robust applications. We'll start with exception handling in file I/O operations, showing you how to manage errors that occur during reading from or writing to files. Next, we'll cover exception handling in database connectivity, ensuring that your applications can handle issues with database operations smoothly. We'll also dive into exception handling in network programming, addressing potential problems in network communication. Then, we'll explore exception handling in web applications, focusing on handling errors in server-side and client-side code. Finally, we'll share best practices for exception handling to help you design clean, maintainable, and effective error management strategies. Ready to see how to handle exceptions across different contexts? Let's get started. Exception handling in file I/O operations is crucial for managing potential errors that can arise during file interactions, such as when trying to read from or write to a file. Common exceptions include file not found exception, which occurs if the specified file cannot be located, I/O exception, which encompasses various input-output errors, and EOF exception, indicating that the end of a file has been reached unexpectedly. For example, you might write a program that attempts to read a file and incorporates exception handling to catch these issues, allowing the program to provide formative feedback to the user about missing or unreadable files. This ensures robustness, enabling the application to handle errors gracefully rather than crashing, thus enhancing the overall user experience. Exception handling in database connectivity is essential for managing errors that can occur during interactions with a database, such as connecting, executing queries, or managing transactions. A common exception in this context is SQL exception, which can arise from issues like failed connections, syntax errors in SQL queries, or problems during transaction processing. For instance, when implementing database connectivity in a Java application, you would incorporate exception handling to catch SQL exception instances, allowing the program to respond appropriately to connection failures, query errors, or the need to roll back a transaction in case of an error. This approach not only ensures that the application can handle potential issues gracefully, maintaining data integrity and providing user-friendly feedback, but also enhances the overall reliability of database interactions. Exception handling in network programming is crucial for managing errors that can occur during communication over a network. Common exceptions include socket exception, which may arise from issues like network connectivity problems or closed sockets, unknown host exception, which occurs when the IP address of a host cannot be determined, and I/O exception, which can happen during input-output operations like reading from or writing to a network stream. For example, when making HTTP requests or opening server sockets in a Java application, implementing robust exception handling allows the program to gracefully handle network errors. This might involve retrying the connection, providing user-friendly error messages, or logging the issue for troubleshooting. Effective exception handling not only enhances user experience but also improves the reliability and resilience of networked applications. Exception handling in web applications is essential for managing errors that can occur during user interactions, such as HTTP errors like 404 not found or 500 internal server error. Properly handling these exceptions not only improves user experience but also maintains the integrity of the application. For instance, in a Spring Boot web application, you can implement exception handling mechanisms to capture these errors and return user-friendly error messages or custom error pages. This might involve using @controller advice to globally handle exceptions across your controllers, allowing you to define specific responses for different error types. By doing so, users receive clear guidance on what went wrong, rather than cryptic server messages, enhancing both usability and overall application robustness. Best practices in exception handling are crucial for building robust applications. First, avoid suppressing exceptions with empty catch blocks, as this can hide important errors and make debugging difficult. Instead, always log exceptions with meaningful messages and stack trace to provide context for debugging and monitoring. It's also important to manage the granularity of exception handling. Decide whether to handle exceptions locally within a method or at a higher level, like in controllers or services, to maintain clarity and organization. Lastly, consider rethrowing exceptions when appropriate, allowing higher-level components to handle them and ensuring that the application's flow remains intact. By following these practices, you can create more maintainable and user-friendly applications. As we wrap up our exploration of exception handling in various contexts, we've seen how crucial it is for building resilient and reliable applications. We began by examining exception handling in file I/O operations, ensuring your programs can gracefully manage issues like missing files or rewrite errors. We then explored how to handle exceptions in database connectivity, safeguarding your application against issues such as connection failures or SQL errors. We moved on to network programming, where handling exceptions can address problems like connection drops or timeouts. We also discussed exception handling in web applications, where it is vital for managing HTTP errors and ensuring a smooth user experience. Finally, we covered best practices in exception handling, emphasizing strategies for writing clean, effective, and maintainable error handling code. With these insights, you're now equipped to apply exception handling effectively across different areas of your applications. Embrace these practices to create robust systems that handle errors gracefully and maintain high reliability. Happy coding, and may your exception handling always lead to stable and user-friendly applications.